Hello, my soccer universe. What a difference a week makes. Absolutely. Last week I was here, I was completely downtrodden and so on. It seemed everything going to shit with my team. 2 wins later, including a 5-0 against Rapid, the highest win against Rapid ever, matching the one from 1998. And yeah, if it was 1 goal more, it would have been the highest defeat for Rapid in the Bundesliga era. They lost 8 times by 5 goals, now twice to LASK. And everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything seems great. I mean, I'm waking up this morning, I cannot help smiling. 5-0 against Rapid. That came a little bit out of nowhere. Let's put it this way. That came a little bit out of nowhere. And it feels so good because, yes, derby wins, great, and so on. For me, this is still the biggest one. If you can beat Rapid, even by a 1-0, I'm already happy. Beating them 5-0 is just... And, the turn that gave... I mean, I said in the midweek video, there were talks between the club and the fans. Well, the talks got us support. And the support got us... I don't even want to say a great performance, but it was a really good performance. And, I mean, they could do what they wanted. They scored. This was never in the cards. So, while, and I know we should not forget about the big game that happened this weekend as well between Salzburg and Sturm Graz, while all of Austria is still talking about that one. I think the 5-0 is enough that we can talk about that one a little bit more here. And it has also some implications, everywhere. Because, I think more fans are probably... in the totality, just because Rapid is such a big team, more fans in Austria probably talk about the 5-0. Big result. Still can. So, the big match in Salzburg was also, this was truly a big match. Edge of your seat stuff. Especially if you're one of the fans, fan base, it was edge of your seat stuff. A great 4-goal game. That leaves everything just about in balance, I would say. And then we also had 2 teams clinching survival in the league. So there you go as well. But before we start, I just want to point out, I'm wearing the LASK shirt that they were wearing when they beat Rapid 5-0 in 1998. I think it was the 29th of March. And now on the 28th of April 2024, they beat Rapid in this shirt. Just for history's sake. But let's get started on the bottom. We had an early game between Austria Vienna and Alltag, where Alltag, if they would have won, they would have already secured survival. They managed actually 2-2 draw at Austria Vienna, where, Austria Vienna more or less threw that one away, having twice the lead, and Alltag managing twice to equalize. But that already put a lot of pressure on Lucena, who had this head-to-head with Tirol. That ended 0-0. I think the better chances were with Tirol. However, overall probably Luzern had a little bit more of the game. However, the point was just enough for Tirol to secure survival. And that was all that needed. Now Coach Silberberger steps down as he will hand over the team in the Bundesliga, which for a small team like the WSG is a really big deal. Also has been, to me, if you ask me, they're probably the first relegation candidate for next season. But part of me wants to be wrong about that because they're such an underdog. But yeah, seems a little bit this way. And then Blau-Weiss Linz had to go to Wolfsburg, a Wolfsburg team that is really not in good form. Yes, they got a win on the past weekend, I think, in the midweek. But this Wolfsburg team, they wanted to actually challenge for this first spot for Austria Vienna. They lose at home to Blau-Weiss Linz. And Blau-Weiss Linz, after they beat Altach in the midweek, something switched in them. Simon Seidel already early on, and then he also assists an early goal in the second half, and it is actually a very well-deserved 2-0. And so in Linz, there are a lot of smiling faces today, or this weekend. A lot of smiling faces because, both Linz teams surviving, I think, is really good for the city. Overall, we will have the derby again with all the negatives that sometimes come with that, which I probably would rather not have. But for me, this is good news. This is really good news that we have that. The way this is going, I know there will already be a new coach for LASK. There will most likely be a new coach for Salzburg, or there will be a new coach for Salzburg. I also think there will be a new coach for Wolfsburg. Just saying that out loud right here. But let's go to the championship round, and let's go to... It was the perfect storm yesterday, I gotta say. The weather improved significantly. It was wonderful weather yesterday, after perfect footballing weather. This is the weather that I love, going to the stadium where I have the best memories. So, just hovering in the low 20 degrees. You have a big opponent that brings a lot of fans. You have the truce for now between the fan club and the leadership of the club. And so you get the full support back. You have a big game because you're already 5 points ahead of Rapid. With this win, you are very secure in your third place, which means at least Europa League qualification. It could mean actually more, because you could get into the playoff if Sturm Graz wins the cup. More than that in a little bit. So everything going on. 17,000 people went to Linz. And what did they see? They saw a historic game, but let's be frank. The way that the game started, it was a relatively tense affair. Yes, Rapid, surprise, made 5 changes to their lineup. Already looking forward to the cup final, I guess. But overall, I have to say the game was relatively tight. There was even a corner series for Rapid where after a Laval mistake where they couldn't clear, but that was just before everything turned the other way. And it was one really good attack where I think a Flecker shot hit the post. And I want to say, I've not forgotten, Ljubicic then wants to shoot, and it gets deflected above the crossbar, but it's via hand, a clear handball. It's a penalty. It took forever, this penalty. This was in 20 minutes. It took forever. I mean, if you see a first replay, it should have been already clear from that, and that is sent the referee. It's a clear penalty. Ljubicic converts, as you've seen at the beginning of the video. And then that was already, great. But then it got even better. A great pass out from Andrade. That Flecker, just five minutes later, puts into the net, celebrating really great counter attack. And then just 2 minutes later, again over Flecker, ball comes to Tau, sees the first one saved, and then the second one, the rebound he puts in the net. 3-0 within 7 minutes. The game was done and dusted, and there were more chances. They hit the post one more time in the first half. I think the 4-0, I mean, it was literally every shot in goal went into goal, more or less. I think the statistic was read at halftime was 6-1 corners for Rapid, 4-0 shots for LASK. There you go. Rapid didn't have a shot on goal until the 85th minute. Mad stuff. Second half, I know I went with my my little daughter. So smiling, the bigger one was unfortunately not feeling well, but I went also with my father. And my father was so nervous because he said, 3-0, okay, I feel alright, but if they score, this will get tight again. They have 56 minutes, Sasha Horvath, deflecting shot. 4-0. And then just 4 minutes later, Adil Tawi again assists Ljubicic, who from short this makes it 5-0. The afternoon was done. At that moment, I mean, 5-0 is already an incredible result, but honestly, I was out for blood. I wanted to see that 6th goal going in. I really wanted that. I don't like routes. Against Rapid, I really wanted to see that one because it was so much in the cards. However, the game then really slowed down. It ended 5-0 late on. There were a few pushes to make this 6th goal, but it never really materialized in that way. It was also, when I look at the Rapid fans, yes, they never stopped chanting, but the only thing they could resort to were insults. And in that case, the only thing you have to realize, you're winning 5-0. Don't even engage with those. And I think no engaging, especially Filip Stojkovic, who had a nasty exit, I guess, from Rapid fans' view. From Rapid going to LASK, he got insulted pretty badly. But you could see it was irking him, but for once he actually kept his cool. Cheered on the LASK fans. Unbelievable game. Unbelievable game. My highlight, yes, I was at that game, but being there with my little daughter, who she was beside herself, and she's really getting it. She was totally beside herself. She was smiling, happy, really happy about that. This was really what made me the happiest on that I could share this one with her. My wife and my other daughter watched it at home. They also couldn't believe what they're seeing. So having with my father twice 5-0. Great for the family. So yeah. Happy news. The other game that happened at the same time between Hartberg and Klagenfurt, this was billed like as the match for 5th place, but now with Rapid losing so heavily, and may I add, and you've seen it in the table, the LASK has now a better goal difference than Rapid. They completely turned that one around. That I also didn't see coming. In any case, now I think 4th place for these two teams is in there as well. Klagenfurt coming off the big win against Salzburg. However, they completely were caught out by Avdijaj, who twice was assisted by Kainz and makes a 3rd one as well. I mean, in the first half hour, he scores 3 times. Never has done that before. Klagenfurt, though, rarely put themselves back. Irving in the 50th and Arval in 71st. But it is a little bit too late. This now makes Klagenfurt sit in 6th place and Hartberg going to 4th. This is wide open to me. This one is really wide open to me. Whoever will get that spot. So let's see how this will go. And then we had the big one between Sturm and Salzburg. Sturm going with tons of momentum in there, and it carried on. Already in the first minute, it was a Boiving pass to Pras, who takes a shot, is deflected in. And yes, Salzburg then were coming, had a goal disallowed for handball by Konate in the third minute, but then they again get caught out. Pras makes it 2-0. Really nice assist by Gazi Begovic. Very nicely played goal there. The thing is then thereafter, Mika Bireth has a one-on-one with the goalie. Running all the way, has a second man there. Just when he was about to make a decision, the ball bounces up. There was something in the grass. The ball bounces up and it completely gets him out of his concentration or composure. And this is saved. But at 2-0, Sturm would have had 6 points ahead, and that's more or less the championship, with only 3 rounds to go. And it could have been 3-0. They had, where in the first 15 minutes after the half, they had 2 really good counter chances that they did not play out really well. However, the longer the game went on, the more Salzburg got into the game, and it really what looked like a surefire win for Sturm Graz, who looked so sure of themselves. and so much in control of the game. They suddenly lost it all. They suddenly went into a little bit more the defensive mode. And yes, they have a cup final coming up. And yes, they have a very intense style of play that might play into it. But believe me or not, while they should have probably decided that game, 3-0, game done, they are champions. Not quite yet, but they, with one win at home, they would be champions, because they would have also decided the head-to-head with Salzburg, so they would have had the tiebreaker. No, it got tied again. Oscar Glock, I mean, there was a brilliant backheel assist by Soule to Oscar Glock, who then plays it in, and then he taps it in the 72nd minute. Game on. Then there was another 3 chance. I think Sturm had a 2-on-1. If they make the 3-1, again, it's done. But no. From that moment on, it was only Salzburg playing, and Konate in the 82nd minute makes it 2-2. There was even then the 3-2 scored, but it was all offside. There was immense pressure. Sturm didn't get out of it. Salzburg really, for once, composed it and really showed what they have in them. However, the game ends with a 2-2. And after the game, there was nobody happy with that result. I mean, Salzburg, there were a little bit more aggressive tones coming from them. But Sturm Graz knew that, yeah, they had it in their hands. This was a little bit of a downer for them. But if you look at overall, it's still 3 points with 3 rounds to go. No one in the Austrian Bundesliga has ever blown such a lead. So, there you go. They also have a relatively, I don't want to say soft schedule, but a very amenable schedule with 2 home games against Hartberg and Klagenfurt. However, they also have an away game at LASK. Salzburg is facing Rapid away from home. They are facing Salzburg at home in the last round, and then they have Hartberg away from home just before that. So not super easy. Let's put it that way, not super easy. Sturm cannot afford to lose if Salzburg win out, because Salzburg now own the tiebreaker. They win the head-to-head over Salzburg, and that might be huge there. But it also means that LASK still can theoretically become champions. But more importantly, LASK potentially could catch Salzburg at second place. I mean, I would have liked if Sturm wins within 5 points of Salzburg. That's possible. On the last match day, winning there, that would be possible. I mean, at the moment, I think it's a very, very, very secure 3rd place. And with a teeny tiny option for a second spot, which would mean Champions League qualification, which I think is pretty amazing and would match the second best result ever that LASK had. But, you know, I don't want to get too greedy. I honestly think the way that game went, it's clear. Sturm Graz, Salzburg, then LASK. I think this is the order that the Bundesliga is in. I always have the feeling that Rapid should be 4th, at least. And at times they were looked even like 3rd. But they've completely gone off the boil. And, I've said it before, they have a cup final coming up in the midweek between Sturm and Rapid. It's the perfect storm for the Austrian Football Federation, because these are the 2 largest fan bases in Klagenfurt. It will be great atmosphere. If you have a chance to watch that one, this will be interesting, at least from a fan's perspective. And then the upcoming round will also be a relatively interesting one. For me, it means if LASK go to Klagenfurt and get a point, that seals the 3rd place. For sure, Sturm Graz will probably win against Hartberg, and then Rapid against Salzburg will be an interesting one. Lustenau have a last-ditch chance to... At survival, they need to beat Austria Vienna. They need to win all their games. 3 games, they've won 2 so far. Not gonna happen, to be honest. So yeah, happy video from me. Please let me know what you thought about this round. In any case, I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, here are some videos and playlists that you may enjoy too. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the little bell icon so you get notified whenever something happens in my soccer universe. And with that, have a wonderful day. Bye.